Happy Father's Day to everybody. Listen, today I want to talk about daddy issues. You know, many of us have been raised in a two-family unit where you had a mom and a dad. Dad worked all the time and basically, felt that if I provide for my family, that's enough. Was emotionally unavailable, worked all the time, went in his room, closed the door. Didn't want to talk to nobody, had to knock on the door to come in, wasn't available to go to games, etc. Wanted to do what he wanted to do because he worked so hard. Women at that time, they may not have worked, or if they did have a job, they didn't believe in divorce. That's just not what they did at that time. You just stuck it out. She's frustrated that she ended up with a man that's not available, and so then they step up. They do everything for you. Make sure you get braces. Make sure you go to the dance recitals, etc., etc. And she's putting into you what she feels that the dad should have done. Or you may have grown up in a house where the father wasn't available, and as a coping mechanism, he used avoidance or ran from responsibility. In any event, you grow up and you say, you know what? I am going to get a good man, and that's not going to happen to me. And what you have to realize is that by the time you met your parents, they had coping mechanisms to deal with their trauma and the drama in their lives. So what they did was say, well, you know what? I'm going to provide for my kids if they came from humble beginnings. Not knowing how important being emotionally available really is. Or running from situations, like their father, their mom did, or their dad. And so what happens is that we begin to see this as our normal because we don't have anything else to compare it to. You grow up, you go to school, you get a degree, get a good business, you blowing up, you got multiple cars, you got this, you got that. But there's something that's missing, and that's from that daddy issue. So what you end up doing is dating someone who would be a good zaddy. He a tough boy, when he calls you all the time on your head, you look at that as he just loved me. He want to know what I'm doing, unlike, how my dad did me or whatever. He always want to be up under me, when in reality, he's just trying to control you. After a while, you just submit. It becomes more demanding, more demeaning, calling you out your name, keeping you from your family and your friends, because he's doing what he saw his daddy do, or what he thinks that a man should do. And then all of a sudden, you start breaking down. That strong woman that loved him, now you start getting emotional. You start checking on his phone. He's missing. He's not where he should be. And then you start to unravel. Why? Because it's a coping mechanism. And what ends up happening is that we are destroyed from the lack of healing from the family. It's generational. It's a generational curse. Your granddaddy had it. He gave it to your daddy. Now your daddy gave it to you. And now you giving it to your kids. It's time to heal. It's not time to blame anybody. People cope with the mechanisms that they try to. But it's time to heal. It's time to stop looking for our healing in a man. And what happens, you still dating that same man at 20, but now you're 60. And he keeps spinning you, and you keep getting hurt. But you got everything that you think that you should have. But the most important thing is you've not healed. You got somebody else's hair on your head. You got false fingernails. You trying to have a body that God didn't want you to have. Baby, let me tell you something. It ain't what you look like on the outside. It's who you are on the inside. And once you're able to heal and push back from these negative relationships and these negative behavior, self-destructing behavior, you're going to emerge the person that people think that you are. Strong, confident. But it's time to stop playing the blame game and step up Be honest with yourself about what's going on. Understand it's time to heal. And I need to push back from relationships that are not good for me. It ain't that he no bad man. It's that you picked him and you're not a healed woman. And so broken people, well, they attract other broken people. But it's time to heal. Be blessed and enjoy your day.